welcome Soden Bowl to a Sunday edition of Run It Back. I'm S. Soden. We have two leagues here going. We have Soden Bowl and we have Next Gen Pro League. I've got two highlights from each league to get to here, so without wasting any more of your Sunday time, I know we got some playoff action going on right now in the NFL, but without further ado, we've got a couple games. We're going to start with Soden Bowl. I've got two big games here. Here you have it. The Indianapolis Colts, new head coach and a fan favorite of mine, Dottie Hop, taking over the Indianapolis Colts. He's 4-1 right now. This was a pretty interesting game. The New York Giants looked like they were going to run away with this game. Scars 23-81 was in full control of this game, and then Dottie just started dotting the I's, man. He really got to it. Rookie quarterback Rattler, 349 yards. Reading that over there in the notes under Dottie Hop, it's his second 300-yard game in 5 attempts, 5 starts. Outstanding rookie season going on for him. And then you look at Taylor with 75 yards and a touchdown. Burton, tight end, 109 yards for the tight end. Slower tight end, but again, he gets a touchdown. Buda Baker with a pair of tackles and an interception. Slovis, 208 yards, but he did throw a pick there. Now, the New York Giants are an interesting story. They traded away Saquon Barkley, but they do have a superstar running back, Devontae Bernard, who went for 175 and a pair of touchdowns. He also went for 39 yards on 3 catches for the New York Giants. And the Giants looking good. Now, the Giants do have, correct me if I'm wrong, but they do have Ruggs, Henry Ruggs, brought over in a deal with the Las Vegas Raiders here in Soden Bowl. Again, this is Soden Bowl action. You see your stats over on the left. Those are your league leaders. Drew Lock with Denver, a surprise, leading the league in quarterback rating. Then we have our top 5 owners in the league. Crowd Pleaser 90, undefeated, the only undefeated team in the league. Now, getting back to this Colts game here, I do have a highlight for you guys. To me, this was it right here. Let me get this started for you. You look at this play, the New York Giants going down the field for the win. 56 seconds left in the fourth quarter. They have a 2nd down and 8 in the red zone. They have that superstar running back there. You figure they're going to hand the ball off. No, they throw. And he throws right here, and look at Dottie Hop with an excellent interception. Nice job running underneath the route. Doesn't make contact with the receiver. Tries for the stutter step, but he is unsuccessful. But the damage is done. The Indianapolis Colts moved to 4-1, giving the New York Giants their first loss of the season. You look at this, look at that, right underneath the route, perfect timing, and just a great play by Dottie Hop to win this game. Getting back here, back to the final here. So, a great job by the Indianapolis Colts. Again, that's season 104, week number 5, Soden Bowl action. Congratulations to Dottie Hop in the Indianapolis Colts. Moving on to our next game, the final game here for Soden Bowl. We have the man, the myth, the legend, Kylo Ren. Kylo's up to be nominated to the Hall of Fame here. Kylo Ren and a couple other guys coming into either this Next Gen series. And I'll tell you what, man, rounding out Super Bowl 103, he wins it. He comes in, now he's struggling a bit here. His New York Football Jets sitting at then 2-2, now 3-2, as he pulls off an outstanding victory against your TJ. A bit of a rivalry for them two. To me, he's got Cam Newton starting. He has an injured quarterback there. Cam Newton starting this game. He goes for 173 yards, a pair of touchdowns. And then, of course, Hubbard, the Super Bowl star, Chubba Hubbard, goes for 102 yards. He does get a touchdown. Looking over at Chubba Hubbard, he continues to dominate the league at running back. He carried the ball 14 times for 102 yards. And then he has 5 receptions for 37 yards as well. Looking at the Cleveland Browns now, Cleveland went out to a 14-0 lead in this game. And then it was all New York, all wannabe Sith Lord, using the Force, if you will. And he comes in and he makes the comeback. But Baker Mayfield, to me, had a great game. I know he threw 3 interceptions in this game. He threw for over 71% of his passes were complete. 3 of those going for interceptions, so he had 6 incomplete passes. Mayfield threw for 199, and he did throw a touchdowns to Pickens. Odell Beckham was the leading receiver here with just 59 yards. Now, they got to get the ground game going. You look at Chubb, 53 yards and a touchdown. He's got to take some pressure off of Baker Mayfield, especially when you're facing a team like Kylo Ren. And then you've got Ward with a pair of tackles and an interception there. Davis for the Jets, 2 tackles and 2 picks. Looking at the left side, our halfbacks, you got Valladay with the Seattle Seahawks, leading the league in running. And then you have Bernard with the New York Giants. We talked about him on the flip side the last game that we did. Bernard with the Giants, the second leading running back in the league. Then Saquon Barkley, look at that. They trade him to Las Vegas. He's 3rd in the league in rushing. And we have a dinosaur, Leonard Fournette with the Jacksonville Jaguars. A shout out to Doc. You could give Doc almost anybody, and he's going to do good with him. Fournette ranks number 4 in the league in rushing, and then Alvin Kamara with Mr. Witness 36. He was in the Super Bowl in season 103, and he's number 5, rounding out the top 5 in running backs. And then the receiver list, Tyreek Hill in a Tennessee Titans uniform. Still can't wrap my head around that, but he leads the league in receiving. And then Shakir with the Atlanta Falcons. How about Billy Hoyle? Billy Hoyle doing great things with the Falcons in Soden Bowl. DJ Moore with the sniper rifle, Papa Smurf, rounding out the top 3. Smith-Schuster with the Pittsburgh Steelers Samoan Boy, getting it done. And then there's our man, the Doc, DJ Shark, the top 5 receiver here in Soden Bowl. Now back to this game. Cam Newton starting this game. He's a bit of a scrambler. You look, he's not going to kill you downfield. But I want to take a look at this highlight. To me, this was the play of the game. Cleveland really was kind of dominating this game. We'll bring it in here. And watch this play call. Now, if the audio was enabled, you will hear Kylo scream how much he loves this play call. And I got to give him credit. This is a hell of a play call here. We'll go ahead and get this thing started here. They have a 1st down and goal, down by 7, 3rd quarter. Cam Newton, you got Hubbard in the backfield. Why not just give it to Hubbard? Watch this. A play action gets Cam Newton out. And an excellent throw by Cam Newton for the touchdown. Just a beautiful play call there. We'll get this guy back here. And the New York Jets go on to win 24-14, 24 unanswered points for the wannabe Sith Lord. Again, this is season 104, week number 5. Soden Bowl action on the current gen, as Game Time would say. No old gen here. No old guys here in Soden Bowl. Current gen, the feature league of Soden Bowl. Season 104, week number 5. The Jets re-enter themselves in the playoff discussion with a dominating win and the first loss handed to the Cleveland Browns all season. Now moving over to the next gen. We have some next-gen highlights for you. Here we are, season 105. This is week number 1, our opening kickoff for next gen. This was a primetime game broadcast by the Soden Bowl Network yesterday. You can go and check that out at youtube.com/c/Soden Bowl Network, and you can rewatch this game. This was a good game, a really good game. I am Rico. 13-13, did a great job. He stormed out of here. He had 14 points in the first quarter on the first 2 drives off of 2 straight turnovers by the Houston Texans. But Moody Booty comes storming back. He almost wins this thing. Just not enough time. He didn't get a defensive hold when he needed it. But Deshaun Watson, 277 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw a pair of picks. And then you have Johnson. They really struggled running the football. Just 28 yards on the ground. But who needs to run the ball when you have Fuller? 188 yards, a pair of touchdowns for Fuller. Now look at those yards. To me, that's why Will Fuller is the player of the game for the Houston Texans. In 5 catches, he goes for 188 yards, including an 82-yard pitch and catch that went for a touchdown. That's 188 receiving yards of the 267 total passing yards in the game. That's one-sided. So if you're playing the Texans next, watch for Fuller. But they do have Brandon Cooks, another speedster. And then you got Roby. Roby had an excellent third quarter. 2 interceptions in the third quarter for Roby. He takes 1 to the house for a touchdown. And that was really what kind of got Houston back into this game. Now, enough with the Houston Texans. Let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, man. This offense is phenomenal. Patrick Mahomes goes for 259 and a touchdown in an off game for him. But Edwards-Helaire, with 77 yards and 2 touchdowns, to me is the story of the game. Why? Because the Kansas City Chiefs have a running game. You have Tyreek Hill, you have Travis Kelce, you got Watkins. I mean, you got so many weapons in the passing game, and to get a running back that can go for a pair of touchdowns is dominating. And that line down there says it all. If the Chiefs get a ground game, the AFC is in trouble. And I am Rico playing fantastic football. Speaking of Kelce, he goes for 103 yards through the air, and then Ward gets a tackle and an interception. Now, looking at some of the stats here, our QB leaders over here in the Pro League. Again, this is season 105, week number 1, Pro League, Next Gen Football. Shout out to Xbox Next Gen. QB, Ryan Tannehill with the Tennessee Titans has a perfect QBR. Throws 3 touchdowns over there. We'll get to that game shortly. Carson Wentz with the Philadelphia Eagles, followed by Minshew with the Jaguars, and Tom Brady. We spoke about Tom Brady in the pregame yesterday. Tom Brady getting the Omaha X Factor ability. I believe he's the number 3 overall ranked quarterback, highest quarterback. He ranks number 3 behind Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. He's a 96 overall. Getting it done with the Bucs. Top 5 teams right now. Again, this is just week number 1, so it's kind of hard to list the top 5. So we went by basically your net points, what you gave up, or what you scored versus what you gave up. The Atlanta Falcons, I think they're still scoring touchdowns in Atlanta. They're 1-0. Tennessee Titans roll. They're 1-0 as well. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers also still scoring points in a high shootout with the Saints. They're 1-0. The Philadelphia Eagles, J-Row, making a comeback to Soden Bowl and doing it in style. He's 1-0. And the Hall of Fame head coach, Jay Cork 87, man, this guy has really improved his game. He's a pleasure to watch. His Pittsburgh Steelers are also 1-0 here in the Pro League. Now we have some highlights from this game. Let's get back to this game now. Houston and Kansas City. A fantastic game. Broadcast on the Soden Bowl Network. Let me flip this over to you so we can get you some highlights here for this game. Now, a little bit choppy. It's his feed here. Here you go. Now, it's a 0-0 game here. This is fresh off of the first turnover in the game. Patrick Mahomes from the gun. Look at the defense up in the box. Don't do that. Tyreek Hill will make you pay, and he does. Right there. A beautiful pitch and catch by I Am Rico, and that was kind of the story of the day, man. He could really move the football when he wanted to. You got to love Tyreek's little dance here. I'm not sure if he's doing the robot spin move or the cream dape dancing to the end zone move. Again, we'll watch it one more time. Look at him press that corner on the left side. You see him identify it right away, send him on the go route. And the rest is, you just hope you have enough time to throw it. He can't even get the safety back there in a full sprint. And that is the story out of Kansas City as the Chiefs roll. They go to 1-0. I don't want to say roll because it was a close game. The Houston Texans did have a shot at the end. I believe they threw a Hail Mary down to the 4-yard line. And that's how that game ended. Moving into the final game here in the lineup. Game that happened last night. Tennessee Titans, coached by myself, 1-0. Going up against M. Soden. Her comeback was a bit derailed here. This is her first game since Madden 19, her first competitive game. Now she has played offline. She comes up a bit short here. But looking at the leaders here, we'll get to the leaders on the left side. Ronald Jones II with those Buccaneers, leading the league in rushing. Lamar Miller off of free agency with the Pittsburgh Steelers coach Jay Cork, 87, getting it done. And then Hill, I have no idea who he is. Phil 07 with the Atlanta Falcons, number 3 in rushing. Miles Sanders with the Eagles. Now, we talked about J-Ro's comeback, and he does great. And then Derrick Henry, the X Factor from the Tennessee Titans here in this game. Now, DK Metcalf with the Seattle Seahawks leads the league in receiving. Will Fuller V with Houston. Julio Jones with the Atlanta Falcons. Godwin with the Bucs. Now, the Bucs scored over 60 points in week number 1. A.J. Brown with the Tennessee Titans. Now looking in at this game, Ryan Tannehill with a perfect quarterback rating goes for 258 yards and 3 touchdowns. He throws a couple to A.J. Brown. Brown had a fantastic game, a $165, 2 touchdowns, including a bomb. Derrick Henry gets a touchdown on the ground and a touchdown through the air. He goes for 112 yards. And Jadeveon Clowney getting off the line. He's playing outside linebacker in the 34 defense and having fun doing it. 3 tackles, 2 sacks. He did knock Drew Lock down a bunch of times as well. Ryan Tannehill was thrown out of Miami a couple seasons ago. He's fitting right in with the Tennessee Titans. He leads the Titans offense against Denver and has a perfect quarterback rating in doing so. Now looking at the Denver Broncos, Drew Lock does go for 253 yards, but he did throw 3 interceptions. He was sacked 9 times in the game. He had 16 knockdowns. Philip Lindsay struggled, just 26 yards. He came out to a roaring first start on the first drive of the game, but after that he was shut down. Melvin Gordon III was the Broncos' leading receiver with 104 yards and a touchdown, and he's our featured player of the game here for M. Soden. Gordon was all over the field versus the Titans. He recorded 4 catches for 104 yards, including a 67-yard wheel route that went for a touchdown down the right side, burning the Titans' safety. And Bradley Chubb with 3 tackles. That's really all there was for the Denver Broncos in this one. The Tennessee Titans, they roll. They go to 1-0 on the season. They win 40-13 in Denver. And we'll get to a highlight here for this game. This is our final highlight. And we'll go ahead and bring this thing in for you. Now, this is 7-0 Tennessee. And to me, this kind of separated the game here. You give it to Derrick Henry. Look at the hole. I think I could have ran backwards through the hole. Derrick Henry down the right side, you're not going to get him. Even if Boye touches him right there, Henry's probably going to steamroll him. And that's a 66-yard touchdown for Derrick Henry. Half his yards on one play. 65 to be exact. 21.3 miles per hour was his top speed, clocked by Next Gen Stats. And then they line up and they kick the extra point. Now we'll watch this play again. It's kind of a trips to the left. It's actually a wham. There's the wham block on Miller, and then Henry down that left side, and the speed kind of takes over at that point, and they roll. The Tennessee Titans roll in this game, and they win 40-13. Again, this is the Pro League, season 105, week number 1, next gen action. Now we've got one more thing to go over here. Soden Bowl update version 2.0 marketplace update. This is in effect for both Soden Bowl and Pro League. We will post a link here shortly on the website as we update the marketplace today. Those of you guys that decide to donate money, shout out to the San Francisco 49ers, swing on these. Seahawks 37-26. And then Ohio Bengal, all donating actual cash. Now you have a reward now for donating. Swing on these went maximum. He donated $200 to Soden Bowl. He gets to create a player. It's his choice. He can create a player. It has to be. You can't make a 6'9", behemoth, but it's an 80 overall player. He gets to name him and all those rights. Or there's other things. You guys can check it out. Other donation amounts there. You get all sorts of stuff, including Soden Bowl points. You can get devs. You're limited to only one, so that way you can't buy a team and this, becomes a pay-to-play league. We don't want that, but we do want to reward the people that do donate, and it lets us produce things like this show and other things, give away prizes during the season. But Soden Bowl update version 2.0, Marketplace 2.0 is out. You still establish Soden Bowl points by doing various things in game, and also now you get a monetary donation that will also achieve a reward for you and your franchise. So just something to look at. We'll have that link up again. I'll push it with a push notification for you guys, so those of you with the Android or Apple Soden Bowl app, hint hint, check that out. And I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Allied Plumbing and Heat, a name you can trust in the Colorado Springs area, and GoLiveT-shirts.com, the official threads of the Soden Bowl Network. We will have the images for these scores available in the chat if you guys want to share them. And we will be doing more of these Run It Back episodes. We'll try to get 2 games from each league in there so everybody kind of gets a round table look at some of these teams. And again, happy Sunday, guys. Everybody be safe this week. If you're looking to get into the league, Soden Bowl has a wait list a mile long. Pro League's a little bit easier to get into. I think we have a team opening up. I believe Eat More Chicken's got a drop out of the Pro League with his Miami Dolphins. He has not played yet. So we will be looking for an owner in Pro League. We do have 2 guys on vacation. But it's been a fun experience, both Soden Bowl and Pro League. Have a happy Sunday, guys. I'm S. Soden, and I am out of here. Later, guys.